nice. Here we go. Let's start sharing. There we go. And let's just share that to Twitter. And we are live. Sorry about that. Welcome. Oh, hello. There's already people in the chat. My God, that's amazing. Okay. I'm going to have to try and turn on the live chat. Okay. Oh, boy. This is really happening. Yep. Okay. Sorry. This is thank you. This beard took me an embarrassingly long time to grow out. Oh, this is weird, and I'm very badly prepared for it, to be perfectly honest. But hey, welcome to my first ever live stream, which is going to be full of technical glitches. And boy, oh wow. Hey, hello. I don't even know where to start on all this. Yeah, wow. It's weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird being back in front of a camera and seeing a lot of names I recognize, to be honest, in the chat still here. I'm also trying to figure out how the hell do I make the chat visible and scrolling? Okay, for some reason that's not working for me. But either way, it's good to be here. And there's already more people here than I was expecting. I was expecting 2 people at most, to be perfectly honest. And one of those would have been my brother. So I'm pretty touched to see a few more people here. I know we're a little early. We're a couple of minutes early, but I was worried about technical difficulties, and I wanted to try and get in front of them as quickly as possible. Let me know how well you can hear me. Can you hear me okay? I don't know how, I have a very minimal setup, and I don't know how well I'm coming through. I don't know if there's a delay. Okay, seems okay. Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up. I'm gonna guess that means it's all good. Okay. Oh, thank you. I try my best to sound great. Great. Wow. Great. Well, first of all, hello. I know it's been a while. It's been over a year. I guess I'll start by asking you a question. How have you all been? How would you describe your lockdown the last few months? Because we've all been going through that. So I think I'll ask you that question first, and you can just let me know in the chat, which will give me more time to prepare. Let's see here. All right. Thank you. I've missed you too. Yeah. Yeah. Those answers are about what I expected, to be honest. Oh wow. Oh, I can imagine it's been a great year to start college. God. Don't worry, I'll get to the questions. I'll try and save that question as the first one, actually. I'll get to that. I'll get to that once we're actually at, what time did I say we'd start this? I think it was 4 o'clock most of your time, which is 9 o'clock my time. It is 9 p.m. here, which is why I don't want to be too loud, because otherwise my neighbors will kill me. So let's try and avoid that if we can. Yeah, that's an appropriate word. Not very good. Yes, bearded Finn. This is what I'm doing now. I've had a lot of good feedback about the beard, actually, which is weird because I can't. It took me so long to commit to trying to grow one out, and then of course, I mean, quarantine. I think everybody at one point or another just said, "Hey, let's just do something different." And after, I think I spent 1 week trying to pull off suspenders. And then I got so much negative feedback that I went, well, that's not it. And then instead, I thought, hey, I know, I'll just shave my head and try growing out a beard and see if that works. So yeah, yes, as you say, oh, I missed your name, but yes, as you say, Cheeto Man lost. Oh boy, I mean, I'm not going to spend. I don't think I'm going to spend too much of this live stream talking about the U.S. election because everybody is talking about that right now, and I'd rather stick to talking about me, to be perfectly honest. I don't care if that sounds selfish, but yeah, I heard the news. I heard the news like everybody else, and yeah, wow, maybe it means a change is going to come. And yes, well, we'll get to God. Oh my God, wow. There's 22 of you, Jesus. Oh, that's sweet of you to say, Jaden, the music freak. I don't know if anybody else has compared my return to music criticism to the newest election, but I appreciate the simile anyway. But anyway, now that we finally got to the time, I'm sorry I didn't catch your name because you went by pretty quick, but I think the first question, God, what was that first question? Yes, I think the first question that I saw go by was, are you still going to be making videos or are you going to stick to just posting on the vlog? Just to be perfectly clear, as I've said multiple times, I really, really want to try and stick to the blog. I'm not interested in coming back to YouTube, and I know a lot of people aren't on board with that, and I get it. It's a lot easier to just watch a video rather than read through one of my overly long rants. But to be perfectly honest, I thought multiple times about coming back to doing this, and every single time I did, I would just think of the editing and immediately just shut down mentally. The editing is the toughest part of this, and it's really, really rough, especially when you're just not in the mood to do it, and you know that you have a deadline and you have to put out a video on time. I'd rather just avoid videos altogether, but I will say I have been wanting to come back in some capacity for a while. And I had the idea one night to just create a blog, and yeah, the feedback's been very positive. And on that note, thank you all of you who have gone over there and checked out the blog. It's for those of you who still haven't checked it out, it's thesocialtune.com. Yes, I do own that domain, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I've only put out one list so far, but I'm hoping to get another one out maybe next week. So yeah. Oh wow, someone said they saw my 2002 worst hits list this morning. That's a very old video. God. I really like the number one rant I had on that list, but otherwise not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of the video in general, though I do like the rant on number one again. Let's see. Let me try and get this live chat up properly. Live chat. There we go. Right. New blog. Okay. Get this. Let's just make something a little clear. Let's just make something pretty clear. I don't quite yet know exactly what the blog is going to be, but I think most of it is going to be devoted to top 10 lists. Those are really the lists, the posts that I really want to try and put as much effort and focus into. And also I think that top 10 lists, they take a while to make. And over the course of making them, I have a lot of time to think about them and a lot of time to put as much effort into them as possible. Whereas reviewing an album can be very tough in the sense that I've realized that, unlike someone earlier said, he's basically Irish Mark, which I assume is Mark from Spectrum Pulse. And appreciate the comparison. I do not have Mark's work ethic. Mark's work ethic is insane. The amount of albums he has reviewed in 2020 alone is ridiculous. Um, and the simple fact of the matter is, unlike him and a few other critics I know, my opinions in music change drastically over time. There are multiple albums which I would have given an 8 out of 10 to, or even lower back in the day, that are now like so much better for me, that I listen to so much more than the 9 out of 10s and the, and the other scores I give out. So I don't really feel like I don't want to say, that I'm not qualified to review albums, but it's not really something that I think I'm the best person to do. When it comes to album reviews, I don't know how much original content I can bring to the table. When it comes to top 10 lists, I have a bit more creativity, and I have a bit more to say in general, because I've had years to develop that style. Even though, again, I'm very out of practice. It's been a year or so. Yay! Oh boy! Thanks for the beard. Thanks for the beard comments. Thank you, Ham, as well. God, let's see, you're back here. God, what do I think of? Oh, since I'm Irish, what do I think of Bono? I mean, I think he can be a prat, but I do also think that. Oh, thank you, Peter McMahon. I think he can be a prat, but I do also think that he's a very good musician. I think U2 is an excellent band. I think they've created some of the best arena rock of their time. I still haven't heard. I heard their latest album. I don't think I heard the one that was released to iTunes. I think that was a thing, right? The one that was released, what was it, 6 or 7 years ago? Point is, I haven't listened to everything U2 has put out, but I don't mind Bono. I think he can be a prat, like I said, but for the most part, music-wise, I do like him. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I know that Diane, Kumarai, Sean, I think Kumarai said she was busy. She's working, I believe. And who knows, maybe Diane and Sean are just holding something against me that I don't know about. I wouldn't blame them. I'm not sure what I did, but you know what? I'm not going to take it personally. God. Oh boy, there's a long one there. Thoughts on last year's major albums. God, there were a lot. Billie Eilish, Post Malone, Taylor Swift. Okay, Billie Eilish, loved the album. Post Malone, I liked it. Taylor Swift, Lover was, yeah, I don't go back to it very often. Sheeran, yeah, his album was pretty good, not his best. Luke Combs, I did like it. It was pretty good. I don't love any of these, I've noticed. Lana Del Rey, it was, again, not one I go back to much, but I did like it. Same with DaBaby. Same with Khalid. God, you are asking. You are asking so many albums that I'm very meh on. Of the ones you mentioned, I don't hate I don't like Kanye's album. I'll say that. But of the other ones, they're all meh to me except for Billie Eilish, who, yeah, her album When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go is one of my favorite albums of last year, without question. Okay, one-word sentence responses. I wish I'd seen that before I answered that question. Sorry about that. I haven't listened to 6ix9ine's new album, and I don't plan to. I refuse to support anything that he does. You're trying to imagine Sean with my beard. I have no idea what that would look like. My beard is blonde and practically invisible, so I don't really know. I don't think it would suit him, to be perfectly honest, unless he bleached his hair. Oh, if Sean... Could we get Sean to bleach his hair and his beard? I would be so down with that. He wouldn't do it. At least I don't think so. But hey, there's an idea. Get him to bleach his hair. Why not? He's got enough viewers that if they asked him, they might convince him. I'll get to, Marie Goldsmith, I think I saw your question on Twitter, so I will get to that at some point. Hey, Rodrigo, good to see you, man. Oh, no, I'm not one of the best reviewers. You are. I mean that, by the way. For anyone who, God, going through these one by one is a lot. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom. Sorry. Just for the record, while Rodrigo is here, I don't know how long he's going to stick around. Um, I want to say this, and I'm actually glad because I was going to say this at some point anyway, because somebody asked me in one of the prepared questions who my favorite creators on the platform is. Buddy, since you're here, you are by far one of my favorite creators on this platform. I think your videos, the way you think about music is insane. Like I saw your video recently on Juice World, and I was just thinking, God, I could never make something this profound or this genuine. It's so good. You are a poet, man, and I respect the hell out of your work. So yeah, I'm glad you were here for me to say that. So yeah, there we go. Glad. So now that we've got that said, yes, Jesus is King is very, very, very mediocre. I agree. You're welcome, buddy. I do mean it. Kanye 2024. Oh boy, I don't know at this point, to be honest. I mean, Biden's very new. I mean, I think it's a little early to say, but would I be interested in seeing Kanye rule a country? In reality, no. In theory, yes, absolutely. Make it happen. Please don't. I was kidding. Oh boy. Okay. So I saw one of the people who asked a question also asked it on, I think not on Twitter, it was on YouTube, I believe. So I'll ask her question now, I think. Yes, I believe it was about music reflecting real life, if I remember correctly. Give me a quick second to pull up the question. There we go. Right. Where are you? Okay. I think it was, okay, I'm having a little trouble finding it right now, but I believe it was, do you think that music should reflect real life like TV and movies do? And the answer, honestly, I think is no, because I think that, well, in some ways, I think that if you're trying to present something as genuine and trying to convince everyone that this is the way it is, and, if you're trying to mislead people by telling lies, then no, don't fucking do that. But if you're just doing it for entertainment, or you're just doing it in a way that is clearly not to be taken as reality, then I think people should be able to get as creative as they want, both musically and in real life. I know I'm not quite sure what you mean by that question. Maybe I'm missing the point. But in my opinion, I think that artistic license is a thing that should be allowed in most cases. I may not always support it, depending on the artists and depending on the art they make, but what was your album of the year for 2019? You know what? I don't mind saying this because I will probably make a top 10 best hits and worst hits of 2019 at some point in the next year. I'll release that on the blog in a post. But in terms of the albums, I probably won't be doing that. So I'll say my favorite album of last year. This is not. I mean, if you know anything about me, it was Emily Scott Robinson's Traveling Mercies. It was. I mean, everything everybody has said about that album as a country fan is true. It's perfect. It is just one of the best albums I've ever heard, and I absolutely adore it. And if you haven't checked it out and you are a fan of country music, even if you're not, check it out. It's incredible. It's one of the it's lovely, and she's lovely, by the way. If you follow her on Twitter, she's a delight. I think someone asked what I thought of 2019 as a whole for music. I thought it was good, but not great. I thought it was better than 2018 because 2018 was just a shambles. Looking back on it, but 2019, I feel like it was a transition to this year. This year, I think, has been great, and I've really loved a lot of the hits, a lot of the albums, even though there were a lot of albums released, a surprising amount in 2020. But quality-wise, I feel like things were a lot better this year than last year, and certainly better than 2 years ago. So yeah, I think that 2019 was definitely a transitional phase, or at least it felt like one to me. Igor and Bandana, both great albums in my opinion. I liked both of them. I do prefer I will say I do prefer Flower Boy and Pinata respectively. Yeah, Bandana had some great standouts for me, especially Flat Tummy Tea. I don't know why that song, but I always go back to it. And that's Flat Tummy Tea for those of you who missed it. And Igor, it depends for me. I don't. I'm There are some songs I love, and there are some songs that I'm like, I get what he was doing. It's just not for me. So yeah, I think that Igor is definitely one of those albums that I don't go back to much, but I do appreciate what it is really. I appreciate it more. I think I appreciate it more in concept than in execution, if that makes sense. Um, so how's the acting coming on? Well, obviously it's been a little bit on hold due to this little thing called the coronavirus, which has meant that I can't really, it's not like theaters are open, but I've been doing a lot of online stuff with a bunch of people that I know and like. It's all amateur stuff, and also I think most of it is not open to the public. Sorry about that, but yeah, it's really fun. At least it keeps it keeps me interested. And before the lockdown, I had loads of things planned that none of which have been cancelled, but everything has been put on hold right now, which again is understandable if unfortunate. Let me see. What do I think of Brave Faces Everyone by Spanish Love Songs? Oh, this is the big one, isn't it? Everybody's talking about this album. Here's the thing. Spanish Love Songs' new album is amazing. It's really great. But I will say it's the kind of album that is so goddamn soul draining in certain parts that it's not something I can go back to very often. I will say that there are individual songs on that album that are fucking incredible and that are probably going to make my top 50 songs of the year overall. But the album probably won't make my best albums of the year. Please don't kill me, because I just don't go back to it very often. And as much as I admire it, putting it on my list would be dishonest because I don't go back to it that often, to be perfectly honest, outside of one or two songs. So you've been warned. But on the flip side, all the other critics are going mad about it and are probably going to put it on their best albums list. So, you'll get your fill of people confirming your own opinions if you do love it. It's just personally, it's not going to make mine, especially because for this year, I've been very strict with myself on limiting the number of albums that will make my year-end list. I'll go into it in more detail once I actually make that at the end of the year. You'll see then, but suffice to say, I've been a lot stricter with myself, and leave it at that. There we go. Sorry, I have to pull up the chat. Yes, I could open the chat on another screen, but I don't want to risk things slowing down. Let's have a look. Let's see. Caligula was a fantastic album. Definitely check it out. Oh, what was her name? Who is the artist who made Caligula? I feel so bad. I loved that album. It was one of my favorites of last year as well. God damn it. What is her name? Why am I blanking on this? I think I own a t-shirt of hers with that symbol on it, but I can't. God, what is her name? Somebody remind me. Thank you. Lingua Ignota. God damn it. I don't know why I forgot that. But yeah, Lingua Ignota's Caligula is a fantastic album, but I will say it will haunt your nightmares if you ever listen to it and really let it get to you. It's rough, but it's amazing. Favorite hit of the year. Haha, nice try. I'm not going to reveal that here, but I will be making a best hits of the year at some point in the next month or so. So you'll have to find out for yourself then. Will you do a retrospective song review on your website? Okay. No. The thing is, retrospective rambles was very much the charm of it for me was the fact that I could just turn on a camera and just ramble about a song. None of it was scripted. All of it was off the cuff. All of it was just completely just made up as I went along. And therefore it felt very genuine. And if I tried to write that, it wouldn't have the same appeal because I'd be thinking too much while I'm writing. So I don't think the blog really lends itself to that kind of content. But I did enjoy it while it lasted. It was a fun series to do while it lasted. Anyway, so let me have a look at this. Favorite hit of 2019. Again, I'll be making a top 10 best hits of 2019 at some point. I do know what it is. off the top of my head, but I'm not going to tell you just yet. What are your thoughts on Lewis Capaldi? God, that voice, man, that voice, it's something. Actually, I will say I don't hate his voice as much as some people do. I think his real life voice is very very sweet and charming. He's adorable, but yeah, I don't love his singing voice. To be perfectly honest, it's not my favorite thing. But again, I'm more in the middle on it. To be perfectly honest, um, so best almost hit of the year. That list is going to be up either this next week or the week after, so you will find out very soon. Or do you mean best almost hit of this year? Because in that case, you'll have to wait till next year, probably. I don't like giving away my picks, man. It's kind of a thing. What is my favorite Denzel Curry song? Probably Vengeance. Vengeance is definitely up there. Although I do go back to If Tomorrow's Not Here a lot as well. That's a fun one. That's his closing track from his first album. Not his first album. It was from Imperial, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the album that kind of put him on the map in a big way for a lot of people. But I don't believe it was his first. Yeah, so I'll probably still say Vengeance because those features are just fucking nuts, man. God, I love that song. Worst hit song of 2019. God, you guys are persistent. I'm not going to tell you. Uh, is it always the music guy in the group who keeps asking that? Because I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out. What is Ireland? Ireland is a state of mind and a state of being that only some of us have achieved. It's like Nirvana, but for Europeans. So good to have you back. Thanks. Are you going to make decade end lists? I don't know. It seems like it's a bit late to do that, to be perfectly honest. Like, why? I don't know. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I don't. It feels like it's a bit late to be making decade lists, especially when so many other people have covered them so well. Like, right off the top of my head, I loved Mark's top albums, top 100 albums of the entire decade. That was an insane video. And I also liked, in terms of the hits, I really liked Ethan's one, Ethan at the Double Agent. His decade list especially, I just thought was brilliant. The worst hits of the past decade, I believe it was. So let me just have a quick look back at this. What do you think of Jid? I've said it before on this channel. Jid's fucking incredible. Great artist, great rapper. I really hope he starts getting mainstream success because he is amazing and he deserves it. What is the trend in music that is popular now that you may be sick of? I don't know. Music's been really good this year, for me at least. I don't know. I've liked a lot of it. I would say that I'm getting sick of TikTok hits, but a lot of the TikTok hits this year have been pretty damn good. So I don't know. I don't really have an answer to that, unfortunately. Although I will say I'm getting kind of sick of the album bombs. I know that we've had album bombs for a while now, but just the amount of album bombs that have hit the Hot 100 this year, Jesus Christ, it's been ridiculous. That's already a trend in music, but it's to do with stream trolling and stuff. You know what I mean? What were some concerts you're planning on seeing before the Rona hit? I will say this because I also got the question on Twitter about whether I would be attending. Okay, whether I would be attending the Hella Mega Tour this year, and the answer to both of those is I don't really love going to concerts or festivals all that often, to be perfectly honest. I would have liked. No, honestly, I don't know because I don't like crowds. I'm a very introverted person. And when I do go to a concert, I always like going on my own because whenever I go with someone, they're always trying to talk about things. I'm like, no, I'm here to appreciate the music, damn it. So I haven't been to that many concerts, to be perfectly honest. When I do go to concerts, I usually go to places where there aren't going to be that many people. It's I think the last concert I saw was back last November, and it was Marianas Trench in Amsterdam. Mwah. God, it was incredible. God. Yeah, if I'd still been making videos at the time, I would have probably done some sort of vlog from that concert because that was a dream come true. I finally saw them live. Oh, it was the best. It was so good. God, I love them. That's Marianas Trench for those of you who missed it. What did you think of the new Run the Jewels album? Oh, I mean, if you know me, I will be discussing that album in detail at some point. Who is Ire and why? Okay, shut up. God damn it. I really should start screening these. 2015 versus 2016 for albums? That's a good question. Because they're both really good years, actually. I would still say 2015 takes it overall in terms of the amount of quality albums that came out, but 2016 has some real good ones. It has Aesop Rock, it has Anderson .Paak, it has Clipping, who released their best album that year, in my opinion. It has, the Southern Family compilation. It has, of course, my favorite album of 2016, Teens of Denial by Car Seat Headrest. Oh boy, yeah, it has some good ones, but 2015 has Astoria and I Love You Honey Bear and To Pimp a Butterfly. So I'd still say 2015 wins overall, at least for me. But hey, feel free to disagree. Did you know Ari and Lucasen put on a stage show? I did not know that. So did you know Ari and Lucasen put on a stage show of Arion's Into the Electric Castle last... Oh wait, I did know this. Yes, I saw the videos when they came out. He filmed the show and released it on DVD. It's really fantastic. You need to see it. Didn't he release videos of that on his YouTube channel? I seem to remember something of that. Maybe I didn't. I think I saw the videos and didn't watch them. So maybe those were just like the songs performed live. Maybe they were full videos. But if that's true, I should definitely check that out because I do love me some Ari and Lucasen. Are you going to join Sean's Discord? I don't know. I haven't been invited. No, I'm kidding. I think, if I remember correctly, I haven't looked into it, to be perfectly honest. I haven't thought of it. I'm not really... I've been very out of the game for a long time, so I haven't really looked... I've been welcomed back with open arms, but I'm not trying to force my way through every door or anything like that. So yeah, I don't want to... I mean, it'd be nice. I don't know how active I'd be, but it'd be nice to get involved. Again, and by the way, I may be wrong about this, but if it's a Patreon thing, I don't remember. I had to actually, this is bad, but I had to stop giving support to a lot of the people I was supporting on Patreon when the lockdown hit, because obviously times are hard and I need to be able to afford a place to live before I support independent creators, which sucks, because otherwise I would definitely support Sean and a bunch of you guys, to be honest, a bunch of the guys. But hey, once things pick back up, then maybe then I'll have that option again. What are your thoughts on Fleetwood Mac charting in 2020? I mean, Rumors is one of my favorite albums of all time, so you do the math. That was me that asked about the Hella Mega Tour. Oh yes, it was you. Hey, Chocolate Zeus. I love wow. Irish artists you would recommend. I think you also asked me this on Twitter, didn't you? Nils Music Reviews? Or did someone else do that? No, I'm thinking of Cole Belinsky. I would say, okay, so I'll ask Cole's question because it's a bit more full-formed. I'm part Irish. Besides The Academic and My Boyle Nile, yeah. Do you have any other Irish artists you'd recommend? I'm terrible when it comes to recommending Irish music because I am only part Irish. I have Irish parents, but I was raised in Belgium. So I'm not very good and well versed when it comes to Irish music. But right off the top of my head, Hozier, obviously, easy choice, though specifically that first album. And the Dubliners. Check out the Dubliners. It's very weird and it's probably not for everybody, but it is fun music. I will definitely say that for it. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well as doing everything else. I may start giving shorter answers. Do you think your time away from the social tune has changed you much? I'm definitely a more secure and well-balanced person and less constantly stressed about getting videos on time. That's nice. So I'll say that. Also, I grew out a beard in case nobody mentioned. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, more Mariana's Trench Love. That's lovely. You're not going to make a decade end list. What would you... Okay, if you're not going to make any decade end lists, what would you say your top hit and album of the decade are? Would ask about the worst hit, but yeah, it would probably be Birthday Cake Remix, exactly. Best hit of the decade... Oh, that's tough. There's one or two in my head right now. I could be very basic and say Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars. I still fucking adore that song. Or I could be a little bit more edgy and say Praying by Kesha, which would please the fanboy side of me. Um, I'll give it some thought. I may tweet about that. Which on that note, if you're interested in seeing more of me, just like today, you can follow me at the Social Tune on Twitter. Shameless plug. So sorry about that. So I hope that answers your question there. Um, Mike, are you going to your best hits? Again, I'm not sure. I might do it at some point. If enough people, I'll do a poll at some point. If enough people show interest in it, I will do it. But it probably won't be anytime soon because I'm already busy with the year-end stuff, man, and I'm still trying to catch up on a lot of things that I've missed, and also, I'm very busy outside of that. Um, uh, so, 6 9. Oh, somebody said that a Chris Brown and 6 9 collab would be an amazing idea, and I thought of you instantly. Oh, that's sweet that you would think of me and my screaming angry face at the thought of that. Hey Nick Cage, good to see you. The Weekends After Hours or Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia, both great albums, but I will give the edge to Future Nostalgia. Um, don't know if someone asked this, but what do you think about the Fiona Apple album? I really like it, and I will be talking about it more in the future. So that's all I'll say for now. Do you have any doggos? Oh, I would love to have some doggos. God damn it, I've been really lonely during this lockdown. I haven't really. I've been okay. But yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's wrong. Sorry. I panicked and hit my phone. No, I panicked. I do have a dog. I forgot. This don't hate me. My parents and my family have a dog that they have said is mine, but they got it after I moved out, so I don't know if that counts. And he's only been around a year, but his name is Fitz. I'll post a picture of him on Twitter at some point since it's been brought up. But he is he's what the hell is he? He's a border collie, and he's absolutely adorable. And he's, I think, yeah, just about a year and a half now, I think, or maybe a bit younger than that. But yeah, he's very sweet. So yeah, but just on the low, I'm a cat person, but I still love him. Anyway, which speaking of which, I should also take the moment to say that music guy in the group. Yes, I loved the picture of the doggos you sent me. On Twitter. Those really brightened up my day. They are adorable. So tell them that. Yay. Right. So what do you think of video game soundtracks? Don't really listen to them, to be perfectly honest. Thank you. Thanks, Lorcan. I love the beard too. Can I call myself the Socialist Tune? I mean, I don't know. You can if you want to. I think it's available if you want it. Your taxi driver loves the Dubliners, as he should. I don't know if there's any such thing as good taxi music, but yeah, along with the Mains song "Taxi." Actually, that's a bit of a. I don't know if that would be a great song to hear your taxi driver play. It might have some unfortunate implications. Are you going to redo your older lists on your blog? No, but what I may do is for all the videos that got taken down, and this is actually an important thing here. For all the videos that got taken down, I've tried re-uploading them to other platforms and not had much luck. So what I'm going to try and do is over the course of the beginning of next year, so during January and February, I'm going to try and re-upload them, all of them, and whether I can upload them successfully or not, I will then post a blog post for each of them, just either linking you to where you can find them, or I'll do a quick summary of the video in question and just say, sorry, I wasn't able to re-upload it, but hey, in case you're interested, in short, this is what I say in the video. So hopefully I am able to re-upload them all elsewhere. I've tried re-uploading them on YouTube, it just is not working. But I'll try re-uploading them elsewhere and get back to you on that. So thank you for that question. Oh boy, let's see here. Yeah. More Marianne Strangelove, love it. What do I think of Amsterdam? I mean, I've been a few times. Like I grew up in Belgium, so they're right next door. And yeah, it's a great city, really a student city, and if you have a bike, even more so. Yeah, it's a fun time. Have you heard of any? Have you heard any of Todd's Train Records? Yeah, all of them. They're amazing series. I don't know if this is controversial. I actually prefer it to One Hit Wonderland. I don't know why. I like Train Records more than One Hit Wonderland. Personally speaking, you may disagree. But yeah, I love Train Records. It might actually be my favorite show from him, to be perfectly honest. Um, I've heard Doom 2016. Shut up, Ham. Before you get annoyed at me, I know Ham personally, and he's an asshole. Trust me. Um, oh, sweet. Jack Harlow's cousin goes to your school. Good for him. From what I've seen, I do like Jack Harlow. He seems like a cool guy. I don't know. Maybe he's in the middle of some controversy. It's really wouldn't even surprise me these days with everybody ending up on that kind of news. But I hope not. He seems cool. What are the next few lists you're planning to make? Top 10 almost hits of 2019 is going to drop during the next 2 weeks at some point, and then after that, it's on to the year-end list. So worst hits, then best hits, then best top 50 songs, and best albums. I'm not going to do a worst albums list because, frankly, I could not give a shit about the bad music released this year, and I didn't listen to it as a result. So there you go. Um, so, right. Let me look at this. Favorite movies of all time. Favorite movie of oh God, what came out? What came out last year? 2019. What came out? Avengers Endgame was last year, right? I liked that. That was cool. I don't know if it was my favorite. I don't remember what came out last year, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, that's a good pick. I love that movie. I got a million comments telling me that didn't come out in 2019, though I think it did. Least favorite movie of last year, though, just on that note, is Black Christmas. I think that dropped last year, and holy shit, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I hate it so much. Oh God, maybe one day I'll do a rant on Black Christmas if I really feel like it. But yeah, that is a terrible movie. I hated it so much. Um, But anyway, moving past that, favorite movie of all time is Whiplash, which came out in 2013. It's with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller. Amazing film. Not for everybody, but I absolutely adore it. And it also really got me into jazz. So, for what that's worth, great movie. All right. Let's have a look. What is a rap collaboration that you'd like to see? Um, Has Kendrick Lamar been on any of the Griselda Boys stuff? I'd like to see that. I think it would be an interesting fit because they're very. I think stylistically they're actually quite different. Or maybe J Rock would be a better fit. Actually, maybe J Rock in a Griselda song that would be interesting. I don't think they've collaborated, but maybe on Benny the Butcher's. Maybe Benny the Butcher and J Rock. I'd be down for that. You may disagree. I think they would be amazing. Uh, yes, I was wondering if Niels was from the Netherlands. I think I did know that in the back of my mind. It's been a while. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been around. But yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. What is my favorite soda? I don't know. I don't really drink as much soda as I used to. Oh, you know what? No, I know what it is. Diet Coke. And no, I know. For some reason, I got hooked about 2 years ago, and I can't go back to regular Coke now. I'm just stuck on Diet Coke, and I know it's not good for me, and I know that it's, you know, I don't know what it is. It's just I prefer the very chemically taste now to practically anything else. Don't at me. Lil Uzi Vert's Eternal Take or Lil Baby's My Turn. You know what? I'm gonna give the edge to Lil Baby. Never thought I would say that, but I actually quite like a number of the songs of that album, including We Paid. I really like that song, surprisingly. Did not expect to like it as much as I did. Um, oh, thank you. I appreciate the next doggo pick. Have you heard any of the albums on Train Records? I've heard almost all of them. Some of them I'd heard beforehand, and some I just skip by. I did listen to the Jewel album before Train Records, because I think I first started getting into Jewel back when I did one of my '90s lists. I think it was '96, and I was not. No, it was the '99 one where I first heard her, and I was like, I don't. Wait, was it? I don't remember. I think it was '96 where she made "Who Would Save Your Soul," and I didn't like that song. But then I heard she'd had other hits, so I checked them out. And based off of that song alone, I checked out the rest of the album, and I was not impressed. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll hear a terrible hit and be like, I have to hear the rest of the album this is from, just for context, you know. Um, Countdown, yeah, Countdown was pretty fucking bad too. Unless you say it's one of your favorite films of last year, Peter, in which case you're nuts. Um, Listen to Half-Life. I might. I've never played a Half-Life game. I'm not really a gamer or a jamer or whatever they call themselves these days. Do you speak any other languages? Oui, je parle français complètement fluemment, je crois. Ça fait depuis longtemps que j'ai dû parler en français. So I can speak French, which I hear is very attractive. I've been told by a lot of people. I don't see it, but cool. And I can also speak Dutch. Ik spreek vlot Nederlands, maar ik spreek Vlaams meer dan Nederlands. Die is een beetje, yeah, er is een verschil. Anyway, so that was Dutch, for those of you who don't know. Because in Belgium, to educate some of you, we speak French, we speak a form of Dutch known as Flemish, if you're well educated. And then I also speak English. And some people can speak German, but I can't because I flunked German in school. So there's a few fun facts for you back to back. So I'm gonna start ignoring Ham and everything he posts. Do you speak German? Yeah, I mean, I think I just answered that question. With a beard, you kind of look like a Viking. You're not the first person to tell me that. What do you think of Tech Nine? I've never really talked about Tech Nine, have I? I like Tech Nine. Tech Nine's a cool guy. Actually, I have no idea what he is like in real life. I just think his flows are very impressive. So slight correction there. But yeah, he's made a few songs that I'm really into. Never been a huge fan of his albums as a whole. I don't go back to them very often, but he's a spitter like few others. I'll give him that. Thoughts on Folklore by Taylor Swift. Yeah, I have more to say on it. I'll just leave it at that. I definitely have more to say on that album. But I do like it. I'll give her that. I like it more than Lover. So I think I already answered this, but I think Louis Capaldi, I don't hate his voice as much as some people, but I'm also not a big fan of it. Do you like the Muppets? And if so, what's your favorite Muppet song? I didn't grow up with the Muppets. I'm sorry. I do need to go back and watch a bunch of their stuff because I like the Muppets in theory. And I did check out a couple of films when I was very young, but I don't remember many of them. I remember the sequel song. That really used to get stuck in my head. Let's make the sequel. We'll give it a shot. Something like that. I used it in one of my song reviews. And I really liked that one. But yeah, I'm not really into it. Benny the Butcher and Kendrick would be a good duo. I agree. I think that would be a great duo to see on a song together. I do like the new Kendrick and Busta Rhymes joint, even though I don't think it's either of their best, personally. Known any other Canadian artists besides the ones you already know? I mean, I know a few. I don't know any other Canadian artists besides the ones you already know. I don't know. Like I think no, because by the definition, if I don't already know them, then how would I know them? So I guess my answer to that is no. Have you ever listened to any of Neil Cicierega's albums? Yeah, absolutely. And Mouth Moods is unbeatable, in my opinion. I gave that album a 9 out of 10 back when I reviewed it, and it's still awesome. What is your least favorite song of Confessions of a Dangerous Mind by Logic? I never go back to that album, and I don't know what my least favorite song off of it is because I don't remember. I know I had one at one point, but I never go back to that album, and it's been a long time. I will say my favorite song is easily Homicide, and then everything else but yeah, it was a terrible album, barely remember it, to be perfectly honest. Do you like anime? Love anime. Absolutely love anime. Watch a reasonable amount of it, actually. I won't say I watch too much, but my favorite ones: One Piece, Food Wars, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. These are very generic answers. Um, I'm in the middle of Vinland Saga right now. That's really good. Fuck. What else? Promised Neverland. Yeah, there's a ton of them I really like. So yeah. Thank you for that question. Let's have a look at this. What do you think of Kansas City and its barbecue? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. My older brother met Tech Nine once. Wow, that's awesome. Was he nice? I hope he was cool. I like to think he's cool. Listen to Over the Top. Oh, thanks for that, Eric. It is a great song. It's, for those of you who don't know, it's, I think, not the current One Piece opening, but the one before that. What the hell? Okay, no, whatever. What do you think of Fleet Foxes? I think Fleet Foxes are really great. Don't like or go back to any of their material as much as Father John Misty's, though. I will always rap Father John Misty before everyone. I think I own all his albums now, actually, come to think of it. That's awesome. Yay. Um, what is an album best known for one song that you love? Easy. Hosier, the self-titled album. Amazing album. And everybody knows Take Me to Church. The rest of that album is phenomenal. I don't even know if Take Me to Church would be in my top 5 from that album, to be honest. It's so good. I know it's a very easy answer, but hey, you asked it. Easy answer to an easy question. Ha! My aunt dated the guy who played the music teacher in Victorious. I don't know if that's true, but if so, cool. That's neat. Recommendation on Belgian artists. You know what? I'm going to plead the same thing I did with Irish artists because I'm terrible at repping music from the countries I grew up in. But if you haven't, checked out Stromae. That's my easy fallback answer, and it always will be because Stromae is the one Belgian artist whose career I've somewhat followed. Stromae, for those of you who don't know, is Stromee, and he made that song Papa Ute that everybody knows, even if they don't know that they've heard it. What is the better Drake song? Take Care or Nice for What? Take Care, easy. I don't know if that's controversial, but I fucking love Take Care. It's my favorite Drake song. Pop Smoke's Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, or Juice WRLD's Legends Never Die. This is tough because they're both posthumous albums, and I have an issue with posthumous albums. I haven't heard them, either of them, in their entirety, but I've heard individual songs from both. Based off the songs, I guess I'd probably say Legends Never Die, but no, I can't listen to the albums. I don't support posthumous releases. I've said it before, and I'll say it many times again. But I will say, to their credit, these posthumous albums at least sound okay compared to other posthumous releases I've heard. So I'll give them that, and there are some legitimately good songs from them. Clickbait and Lemon Drop were probably the worst of that terrible album. Yeah, Clickbait was pretty bad. I agree with that. Are you doing more worst and bests list? Yes. What I'm probably going to do is after I do the year-end lists for 2020, I'm going to take January and February to try and re-upload or post a bunch of new things to the vlog. And then once I've done with all that, March at the very latest, I'd say, I'll be posting a new top 10 list, and I already know which one it's going to be. So you'll have to wait and see. Country is finally getting big hits to women again. I hope. The Bones, Die from a Broken Heart, One Night Standards, More Hearts Than Mine, Bluebird. Has this made country better, worse, or no impact? It has made country way better. Yeah, I think yeah, having more women in country, in mainstream country, and seeing success, that's only a good thing. And there have been some great songs that have come out of it. And it also provides some fucking just, God, why am I losing this word? Some fucking variety to country radio that it sorely needs. Have you heard the soundtrack for Made in the Abyss? No, I have not, but I will add it to my list. Made in Abyss. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Do you like Arctic Monkeys? Oh, they're okay. I think Arctic Monkeys are okay. I've never really had a huge opinion on them one way or another. A lot of my friends are really into them though, and I like those friends. But yeah, every time I hear Arctic Monkeys, I'm like, this is neat, but I'm never going to go back to it. Kansas City. Oh, okay. I've never had Kansas City barbecue. So, yes, I guess that was where you lived. Okay, one message has been retracted. What's your favorite song from Hosier's? Cherry Wine is great, as you say, but my favorite one has to be The Angel of Small Death and the Codeine Scene. Just, such a good song. God, that entire album. You know what? I need to stop talking about that album. Do you have any thoughts on Orla Gartland? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. You might have to give me a bit more context. Are you going to do 2019? Yes, I will at some point, eventually. I will be making top 10 best and worst hits for that year. So, do you listen to Indilla? Nope, I do not. Sorry. I don't know what that is. So 90s R&B or early 2000s R&B, 90s R&B overall, I think. Although it depends. I think if I'm listening to R&B for R&B, I'm more likely to go back to the 90s in general if I'm looking for 90s playlists. If I'm talking about individual artists, like specifically standout artists from those decades, I would go back to the 2000s more. So, for example, if I was listening to a 90s, I'd be more likely to listen to a 90s R&B playlist than a 2000s R&B playlist, but I would probably go back to Usher and individual R&B artists from the 2000s before any individual R&B artists from the previous decade. So, hope that answers that. Let's have a look. She's an Irish singer-songwriter. I don't know her, or the name sounds vaguely familiar, but maybe I just haven't heard. Like, it's one of those things where I've probably heard a bunch of songs and then never actually checked out the artist, or don't really connect the songs with the artist. But I'll make a note of it and check her out. Do you like post-hardcore? Some of it. I do like some of it. Post-hardcore. What was that one post-hardcore? Was that a La Dispute album? Post-hardcore? I think it was, right? I'm very bad when it comes to hardcore. I don't know my post-hardcore from. Yeah, I'm not great when it comes to defining the individual genres when it comes to hardcore, but I think I like post-hardcore from what I've heard. You'll have to post a couple of examples just to give me an idea. Are you mixed on 2007 in music? I think overall I'd say it was a very good year, but I think it is a bit of a mixed bag, to be perfectly honest. Just personally speaking. What is your favorite country murder ballad? Oh, that's tough. What is my favorite country murder ballad? You know, I really fucking love Letter to Madeline by Ian Noe. I know it's a more recent entry, but my God, so good. And yeah, I know it's technically not a murder ballad, but someone gets murdered in it. The protagonist gets killed, so I think that counts. And it's a great song. It's one of the first songs I learned to play on this little baby here. Yeah. I'm not handling this guitar correctly. There we go. Now that I've showed that off. Best Jason Isbell song. God, you guys really know me. God, this is so sweet. Best Jason Isbell song is. Ooh, that is tough. You know what? It's either Cover Me Up or Elephants. I always flip-flop on which I prefer. Cover Me Up or Elephants, both from Southeastern, are his magna opus. I don't think that's correct Latin-wise, but whatever. It would be magna operi, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be magna operi. I think that's correct. I haven't done Latin in a few years. I don't know why I took so much time to answer that. No, magna corpora. I'm gonna stop now. Favorite magna, no, not corpora. I'm gonna stop. Favorite song from Blonde by Frank Ocean? Pink with Beyonce. Fucking love that song. I really, really love it. I go back to it a lot. Do you listen to UK rap? Some of it, it kind of goes back and forth a bit. There's some artists that I definitely pay attention to more than the others. But I do listen to some, yeah, not too much though. Favorite Miley Cyrus song? I'll name her favorite hit because that's easier. Wrecking Ball. Yes. Wrecking Ball is her best hit, in my opinion. God, that's not going to get me any hate. Burger King or McDonald's? Burger King all the way. Although McDonald's makes good coffee. I'll say that for them. What do you think of our music Lord and Savior, Rise Against? I like Rise Against. I don't know if I'd call them our musical Lord and Savior. But they're good. They're real good. They're real good. Next question. The Babies Blame It on the Baby or Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By. God, those are both mediocre albums with like one song a piece that I actually like. That's tough. I don't know. They're both very mediocre to me. Probably Eminem. I feel like that's the correct answer, but I don't know, to be honest. I've listened to both of them, but they're both very mediocre in my opinion. They're both very, very bland 5 out of 10s for me. They're not bad, but they're not stuff I go back to very often. And individually, I go back to, obviously, Rockstar and Godzilla, the two biggest songs, all of them respectively. And I don't go back to the rest of it. AJR is getting a big hit for this year with Bang, but it looks like it's going to get caught between years. How does this make you feel? I think the fact that AJR is getting this close to a hit is a little worrisome, but then again, I don't hate AJR as much as some other people do. I know other people. Here's the thing. On the one hand, I'm not a big AJR fan. On the other hand, I kind of want them to get a hit just to see how the music critic community reacts to that. That will be hilarious if they actually blow up. Do you have a favorite sitcom? Another thing I got asked on Twitter, I think. I don't know. I'm very bad at defining what a sitcom is, to be honest. What is a sitcom? Like, okay, yeah, I know it's a dumb question, but sometimes I think something is a sitcom. People tell me, no, that's just a straight up comedy. I guess How I Met Your Mother or Modern Family, if that counts. I fucking love Modern Family. Let's go with that. Absolutely. I don't know if that counts as a sitcom though, because there's no laugh track. I don't know. In terms of sitcoms, I don't like, because I think that was another question. I don't really dislike, or I think the question was, are there any sitcoms I can't stand? Not really, but a sitcom I'm not really into is Full House. I know a lot of people love Full House, and it's not that I hate it, but I would never watch it. I'll watch it if it comes on. Because most of the TV I hate is teen dramas and reality TV. I've been watching Riverdale during the lockdown, and it's so bad. I can't stop watching, but it's so bad. God, and nobody warned me how bad it was going to be. Anyway, back on topic. I'm trying to answer as many of these as I can. So let's see. Post-hardcore is Touche Amore, La Dispute. Okay, so it is what I thought. Yeah. I enjoyed the new Touche Amore album. La Dispute, I loved that album. Like more than I think a lot of music critics gave it positive reviews, but I really loved it. Great, one of my favorite albums of last year, for sure. So yeah, I guess I like some of it, just not everything. I guess I don't. It's a genre that I only go back to with individual acts more than I do the genre as a whole. What is your favorite song of the 80s? Could not tell you, to be perfectly honest. So maybe I'll be able to answer that someday, though. An acoustic guitar. Yep. No, I'm not going to buy a Fedora and learn the Lazy song. Although, wouldn't that be funny? Maybe one day. We'll see. Yeah, Cover Me Up is a great choice. Thank you for saying so. Best Father John Misty song. Oh, that's like choosing my favorite child. Pure comedy, actually. That was very easy. That's my favorite Father John Misty song. My top song of 2017, still to this day. What was your favorite school subject? For many years it wasn't, and then it became history. But I'm going to say maths. Maths was a school subject I was surprisingly good at, even though I know a lot of people hate maths. Favorite Ed Sheeran song? Probably A Fire Love or Lego House. Oh boy, I'll say A Fire Love because that's the one that has the grandfather passing away. Wow, that's morbid saying it out loud. Best Madonna album? I don't know. I definitely, Madonna's another one of those that I listen to greatest hits compilations before I do individual albums. And whenever she drops something new, I'm like, well, if I hear anything about this, then I'll check it out, and then I never do. So, are you doing the best of 2009? I did the best of 2009, then the video was bloody taken down. So yeah, I'll try and re-upload that elsewhere. And otherwise I'll find some workaround for it. So look out for that. Best way to figure that out, just follow me on Twitter and I'll update you guys when it comes up, when I have news on that. Any recommendations on fellow YouTube channels? There's plenty. I am currently wearing a Yai watch from the channel Jack's Films. Go support Jack's Films, one of my favorite creators. Check out for sketches, if you're into comedy, short form comedy especially, check out Gus Johnson. I've been really into him the last year or so. Trying to think of what else. Critical Role, if you're a D&D nerd, fucking check out Critical Role for sure. You know what, I'll keep it to that. And then in terms of music critic reviews, which is in terms of music critics, which is probably what this question was getting at. Yeah, definitely check out all the guys. Just check out everybody who is in Sean's Discord, I guess. That would be a good way of narrowing it down, right? I mean, literally, just go support as many of the people who do this sort of stuff as possible, because almost all of them, no, I'll say all of them are probably better at it than me, because they still make videos every day, so they deserve the support way more than I do, frankly. Oh, let's see. What do you think of turtles with top hats? Oh, what is that? That rings such a strong bell. Give me a reminder of what that is, please. Also, your favorite Radiohead album? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Give me a second, because God, I always hear, this is a little embarrassing. I hear Radiohead albums, I'm like, wow, that's great. And then I just haven't gone back to them since. Or no, I take that back. I go back to individual songs. But I need to be reminded as to what song is on which album. So let me just check this out. Sorry about this. Radiohead discography. Let's have a look at this, shall we? This is professional. This shows that I should be a music critic, being like, what is that one Radiohead album? I don't remember. Right, let me just find this. Where is their discography? There we go. Okay, yeah, so... Okay, looking at this, probably the Bends. That's a very generic answer. But yeah, I'll say the Bends, because... Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't have a more fleshed out answer for that. I know it took a very long time with an underwhelming payoff, but that's what you get sometimes. What was the worst Stan Army conversation you've had on Twitter? Not so much on Twitter, but I will say I still occasionally get messages and comments about my Harry Styles review. My God, just get over it. I gave it a low score, relatively speaking, but I still give it a passing grade. It's not a bad album. I think it's a good album. I just didn't like it as much as everyone else. This is the debut album, for those of you who haven't checked it out. And my God, I think it's a good album. I don't know. There's individual songs I go back to all the time, but I don't go back to the thing as a whole. Favorite AJR song? I don't know. I never listened to AJR. I don't know. I don't know. How about, you know what? I'm just gonna say, just to be a dick, I'll say I'm Not Famous, because that'll get everybody's turn against me. Thoughts on Ava Max? Her new album's decent, but she definitely strikes me as someone like Katy Perry, who's just going to be a singles artist for me. If she has more hits, which I hope she does. Um, I'm Ready by Jero was a hit in Australia. Really? Oh boy. Okay. Well, okay. What is your favorite pizza topping? What a question. Thank you, Nick Cage. How's the socialist tune coming on? Um, I, mm, I'm going to say Cajun chicken. Cajun chicken. I don't know if they offer that in where you guys are from, but yeah, Cajun chicken. It's a good pizza topping. I like it a lot. Who did The Office bear, the UK or the US? From what I've seen, because I haven't seen either show in its entirety, the US, in my opinion. Although I do like the UK show. Thoughts on Ingrid McNeilson? I don't know. Or, sorry, Michelson. My bad. I still don't know, though. So you tell me who Ingrid Michelson is, and once again, humiliate me in front of everybody. Modern Family is a sitcom? Then I'll say that. Modern Family is an amazing show. Best or worst year for hit songs in the 2010s? You know what? I've said so for so long. 2016 is probably the worst year for music in the 2010s. Oh. You know what? I'm still going to say 2016 because you know what? As much as 2018 put up a good fight and had some bad hits, it had Marry Me. It did have Marry Me. I'll give it that. And it, 2016, I was genuinely struggling in 2016 to come up with a top 20 with 10 songs that I loved. It was such a struggle. So yeah, I'm gonna say 2016 is still the worst. And the best for the 2010s, I probably either 2011 or 2012. I'll say 2011. 2011 has a lot of my favorite hits. Though 2015 is very good. I'm gonna stick with 2011. Just live with my answer. God damn it. Favorite Flow Rider song? Oh, welcome to my house, baby. Take control now. I don't even know if that's. No, it's not. It's Low. Everybody knows it's Low. Who doesn't love Low? Featuring T-Pain? Was that T-Pain? It wasn't Lil Jon, was it? No, it was T-Pain. Yeah, I thought it was Lil Jon, but it was T-Pain, right? Yeah, Low by Flow Rider, easily. Speaking of Jack's films, what part of the Emoji Movie spoke to you the most? Oh, fuck, I hate that movie. I barely remembered. I saw it, but I don't. What part of it spoke to me the most? You know what? Every second James Corden spoke was my favorite. And I don't even dislike James Corden, but my God, he was annoying in that movie. Thoughts on Savage Love? For a while, I thought I was going to be that guy who was like, yeah, everybody else hates Savage Love, but I like it. But recently, it's been grating on me. It has not worn out its welcome. It has worn out its welcome, rather. And if you look at the history into how it got released, that does not help. Thank you, the music guy in the group. Your explanation was real handy. Favorite comedian? I don't know. I like a lot of British comedians. David Mitchell, Lee Mack, James Acaster. Yeah, I like a lot of British comedians. So I hope that answers your question. But I don't really watch comedy much anyway. Also, I'll be back in 1 second. I just have to grab something. Hey, sorry about that. I just realized that charging needs to happen. Yeah, for a few things. Right, sorry about that. I know, yeah. So, okay. What is your favorite song from Astro World? I haven't gone back to Astro World since I first heard it. I do not remember a goddamn thing of it, to be perfectly honest. Except for, sicko mode. God, The fact that it took me that long to remember Sicko Mode, yeah, shows probably what I thought of that album. I thought it was, I just did, it's fine. It's a fine album. I don't get what all the fuss is about. Though I hear it performs amazing live. I'll say that. Favorite Kodak Black song? You motherfuckers. I guess ZZ. Whatever. ZZ is the Kodak Black song that doesn't make me want to burn everything. I'll say that for it, which is more than I can say for some of his other hits that same year. Spoilers. Favorite restaurants? Both sit down and fast food. I don't know. God, can you imagine going to a restaurant? It's been so long. Oh God, I don't know. I don't go to restaurants that often. And when I do, I'm normally paying for a date. So so there's always that little thing in the back of my mind going, God damn it, I have to pay for this after everything. I'll say there's a nice restaurant in there's a nice place. I think it's a food chain in I know it there are some places in Belgium, but I have to imagine they have businesses abroad called Wok Dynasty. It's a Chinese food place, I think. Real good food. And fast food wise, the longest time it was Burger King. You know what? Fuck it. I'm still gonna say Burger King. I still like them a lot. And I have many fond memories of sitting there with friends and just eating and talking about stuff that doesn't fucking matter. It was good times. And those friends now, I don't see many of them nowadays for obvious reasons. AJR stand for All American Rejects. Oh, that's All Jamaican Rejects. That is, I like that. Nice. I might start using that. Don't worry, I'll give you credit. The music guy in the group, but that's pretty good. What do you think of Luke Combs? I really like Luke Combs. I'm glad he's getting. I'm glad he's getting success. So yeah, his latest re-release of his album is doing very well for him, and I'm really happy for him. Will you be doing more retrospective rambles? No, because I'm not doing videos anymore, and that series doesn't lend itself to a blog in terms of formatting. Burger patties are flat meatballs. You have some interesting takes, I will give you that. Weak by AJR was a hit in the Netherlands. Of course it was. I hate Weak. God, that is... Oh, I hate that song. Oh, boy. Savage Love is a simp anthem. You're not wrong. Do you listen to Bjork? And if you do, what's your favorite album by hers? I do listen to Bjork, and very easy answer, but Volnicure is great. Let's blow up the chat while he's gone. Shut up. Did you blow up the chat while I was gone? Let's quickly look. No, you did not. Thank you, people, for not listening to Mike. And take your chaotic energy elsewhere. Actually, don't. I'm happy to have you here. What are your thoughts on reggaeton? I want to like it more than I do a lot of the time. A lot of the time, it just kind of runs together for me. And don't get me wrong, with the amount of reggaeton songs that have crossed over all across the world the last few years, I've definitely heard a lot more of it, and I can pick out individual songs more than I was able to before. But I'm still a lyrics guy, so I tend to listen to music that is in English, in the language I understand, for the most part. But yeah, there are definitely a couple of reggaeton jams that I'm a big fan of. Thoughts on Sober or Anyone by Demi Lovato? I thought Sober was good. Anyone was alright. It was okay. No, actually, it was very meh. Anyone was meh. Sober was pretty good. So yeah. Thoughts on Earth by Lil Dicky? I thought it was hysterical. I didn't think I did. I got that people hated it, but my God, it was so funny. I couldn't hate that song if I tried. Birthday Cake remix versus Daughters. You know what? Oh God, that's hard. I hate those songs so much. But I'd probably have to say Birthday Cake remix just for the way it sounds. Like, say what you want, Daughters, I can rant through it about how bad it is, whereas I'd have to turn off Birthday Cake remix in order to rant about it because of just how horrible it sounds. Seven Rings or Break Up With Your Girlfriend Bored. In terms of which one is better, or in terms of which one is worse? because I don't hate either of those songs. I said it before. I'm very forgetting of Thank You Next. But in terms of which one is worse, probably Seven Rings. But I don't hate that song. I know I probably should, but I don't. I just don't. Thoughts on Little Mix? I love Little Mix. They're great. Once again, more of a singles artist than an album, more of a singles group than an albums group for me. But still, I do like them. No Bystanders by was that a name? Wait, No Bystanders was. I'm trying to figure out which question you're referring to. That was AJR, wasn't it? I might be wrong on that. What was No Bystanders? I don't know. You've been asking a lot of AJR questions. I can't remember if they made No Bystanders. Have you heard of Aurora? Yes. No, I did. I definitely have. What was that album? What was that album? It was really good. Aurora Music. This is why it's good to have a laptop on hand, kids. What was that one album that was really good and that I really liked? I obviously haven't come back to it as much, but I did want to call it out. What was it? I did like it. What was it? Yeah, I liked All My Demons. I liked All My Demons. So yeah, there you go. I like Aurora. I think Aurora is good. Not my favorite of her type of artist, but I did like what I've heard from her, even if I haven't gone back to it much. Mashed potatoes is just Irish guacamole. Are you going to be doing more live streams in the future? I might. This was more of a, hey everybody, I'm back. Let me self promote and go check out my website. But hey, I mean, it seems that there's a bit of a community for it, so maybe I will. We'll see. For special occasions, won't be that often, but now and then. Um, what do you think of Porn Star Dancing by My Darkest Days featuring Zach Wilde and Ludacris? Never heard it in my life. Never even heard of it in my life, to be perfectly honest. What a question. What a title. Do you have any new artists that you've been listening to recently that you could recommend? I will say I think 2020 has been a year where and I think a lot of people are feeling this. I feel like I've been looking for music that is more familiar, and by combining that with the fact that there are a lot of albums coming out, I've tended to listen to a lot of artists I've already heard before. So I've tried to check out a few new artists, but not many of them have really stuck with me. But I will say that one genre, obviously, that I pay very close attention to is country music, and country music did give us Katie Pruitt this year, and Katie Pruitt is she makes queer country music, and because through that alone, she's pretty unique. There's only a couple more off the top of my head, a couple more successful names in country that are making that brand of it. Brandy Carlisle being the obvious one. But yes, I think that Katie Pruitt's new album Expectations is real good, and I really like it. So yeah, check that out if you haven't, because it's just a very sweet listen. It's very wholesome. Love it a lot. So yeah, hope that answers that. But yeah, for the most part, I've been listening to a lot of older of acts that I've been into for a while now. Although I did check out Idols for the first time this year, and I know I'm very late to that, but suffice to say, just like everyone else, I think they're amazing. Yeah, Idols is such a good band in times like this. So let me go back up. Favorite song on American Idiot by Green Day? Probably Jesus of Suburbia. Yeah. What score would I give American Idiot? I don't think I'd give it the full 10 out of 10. I'd have to think about it. But I will, for now, at least give it a very strong 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite albums of the decade, don't get me wrong. But I'd have to think before giving it a perfect score, because those are hard to get. I don't give them to many. Have you heard of Coulter Wall? Oh boy, name sounds familiar, but I need reminding. Keep in mind, guys, I've been out of the game for a while. I'm just getting back in and, getting my feet wet again. Is that a saying? I don't know if that's a saying. Thoughts on NFR by Lana Del Rey. Um, yes, I like it. That's all I can really say for now because I haven't heard it enough. But yeah, I like it. Um, oh, Porn Star Dancing was a top 40 hit in Canada. Okay, I will try and I'll make a note to check it out after this. I'm making a lot of notes during this live stream. Uh-huh. Have you listened to All Time Low's album from this year? And if so, what did you think of it? I did not know they released an album this year, which I feel a little guilty of because I thought I was paying close attention, but completely missed All Time Low. So sorry about that, All Time Low. I will make sure to try to check out your new album for the end of the year because I've liked most of your stuff. What are your thoughts on Detroit 2 by Big Sean? Did listen to this one. Really good album. Probably easily his best album so far. Couple of moments I wasn't a big fan of, but even then they were all really good songs, to be honest. Yeah, I think Detroit 2 is excellent. Yeah, definitely giving Big Sean his props there. Um, Favorite and least favorite Jason Derulo songs. Favorite is Cheyenne because it's everybody's and it's such an obvious answer, but it is just the best. Uh, and least favorite. Actually, What You Say. I hate What You Say. God, terrible, terrible song. And I know some people think he has worse hits. For me, What You Say is his worst hit, which is good because it means it was the very beginning of his career. Thoughts on MGK making rock music? I do love the fact that MGK got dissed so hard by Eminem that he essentially changed lanes completely and had to start his own genre. I will also say that that's not quite what happened. Yes, there was a bit more that happened in between that led to that shift in sound. But I do think that it's a better fit for him, to be perfectly honest. I think that his new album was actually listenable, which is not something I could have said for some of his previous material. When you say is not your favorite genre from that album, what would you say is the favorite type of sound the best? Um, just so I don't look like a complete idiot, I'm just gonna. Okay, so I believe you asked for Aurora, what is my favorite type? Who is my favorite artist in her brand of it? Um, I think the best one. Um, you may disagree, but I think the best ones in that vein are. Oh God, what am I thinking of? Um, Anna Meredith. I know she's an electronic artist, but her actual sung hits are very similar, and I think are just better. And also, God, I'm blanking on actual comparisons right now. But I remember I said that because I remember being asked this question before about Aurora and going, I've heard better. I just can't remember off the top of my head. If I remember, I will let you know. But for now, I'll say Anna Meredith in her sung songs because those are amazing, in my opinion, and it's a similar sound done very well. Oh my God, there have been a lot of questions. I really need to speed things up a bit. Least favorite artist working today? You can't say Chris Brown. That's cheating. Fine, 6ix9ine. Fuck that guy. I'm so happy his album flopped as hard as it did. Thoughts on "If the World Was Ending" by Julia Michaels? I hate that song. I I didn't say that. This person said it. I love it for all the wrong reasons. More on that in the future. If it becomes a hit, I will definitely be talking about that song again. I think it is going to make the year-end list, right? I'm pretty sure it's projected to make the year-end list. But with Billboard, sometimes it can be weird. Like sometimes there are hits that I'm absolutely sure are going to make the year-end list, and they don't. So yeah, we'll see. But if it does make the year-end list, I will be talking about it. Um, what year are you mixed on from the 2010s? Um, probably 2013. 2013 had the most. 2013 had terrible hits and then had amazing songs. So I think in terms of the two extremes and the ones where I flip flop back and forth on, was that really great? 2013 probably springs to mind in terms of the year as a whole. So, I do not listen to Sabaton. Apologies. I apologize. What do you think of Hot Girl Bummer? Another song that I will be saving my thoughts on for the year-end list. That's all I'll say. If you like old-style country, like Johnny Cash, you'll love Culture Wall. That was okay. So I was pretty sure he was a country artist. So yeah, okay, gotcha. I've definitely heard a few Culture Wall songs, to be honest. I just can't immediately place him. I did listen to a lot of Johnny Cash though. You're not wrong on that, and I do like a lot of it. You should check out the album "Break from the World" by Globus. Okay. Globus, "Break from the World." You got it. I will keep that in mind. See, I really am taking notes, sort of. What do you prefer, "London Boy" by Taylor Swift or "Galway Girl" by Ed Sheeran? Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran all the way. You said there was a right and wrong answer. I hope I got it right. In my opinion, Galway Girl's the good one. London Boy's... London Boy can kind of grates on me. Justin Bieber's "Changes" or "A Boogie with the Hoodies" artist 2.0. Ooh. I'll be honest. Of the songs I've heard from "A Boogie with the Hoodie," I would say probably him because I hate "Changes." "Changes" is garbage. All Time Know's new album might be your album of the year. Okay, good to know. That's not going to set any expectations for me. Actually, it won't because I'm All Time Low. Sometimes I hear it's amazing. I check it out and I'm like, it's all right. And sometimes the opposite is true. So, Porn Star Dancing also had Chad Kroeger on it. This song is sounding more and more fascinating. Do you like "Swallow" by Jason Derulo? Of course I do. I'm not a monster. What are some songs that you would call so bad it's good? Oh, anything by Train. I think that's a fair thing to say, right? Anything Train releases, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Bravo. And yes, I'm very much including "Play That Song," which I got asked about. Beautiful mess. God damn it. Thoughts on Lewis Capaldi? I don't hate or love his voice, but I'm more on the side of hate. God damn it, stop asking me that. At this point, I'm just going to stop using it. Have you ever listened to Paris before? I definitely have, but I'm finding it difficult to place in my brain right now. Which technically answers your question, so moving on. What are your thoughts on Brent Fayaz? I hate how many names you're throwing my way that I don't know because it's really putting me on the spot. Maybe I should just start ignoring those questions. But I want to call out myself when I'm being an idiot. So yeah. So your favorite band is Marilyn Strange? Yeah. Who is your favorite solo artist? I think I've been asked this before. Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. In terms of an artist whose entire discography I've really been into, I'm going to say, if we're not talking rappers, I'm going to say Father John Misty. Okay, if we're not talking rappers and we're not talking country, I'm going to say Father John Misty. If we're including country, oh, I love you, Jason, but Laurie McKenna's got to take it. She is, she's so close to my heart. I love Laurie McKenna so goddamn much. And then if we're including rappers, lately, or really for the past year or so, it's been Open Mike Eagle, man. He has fast become probably my favorite rapper. Even more than A$AP Rock. Although A$AP's got a new album coming out in a couple of weeks, so that may change again. I flip-flop a lot on which one of those two is my favorite. Do you like Frank Turner? Yeah, I love Frank Turner. A lot of his old material. I even like some of his material that is said to be of lesser quality. As of I think 2015 was where the shift happened. But yeah, a lot of people say his 2015 and onward material is eh. I still like a lot of it, even if I'm not crazy about it. There's always at least one really great song on it. Thoughts on Dance Monkey? I mean, I've been listening to it for, it was a hit over here way before it was a hit in the US, so I've been listening to it way longer. Honestly, I don't see what all the fuss is about, one way or another. Like, I've seen people get so angry at it, and I don't get it. Like, I think it's a good song, personally. That's all I'll say on that for now. Uh, Gotta go. Okay, just thank you for being here. Thoughts on Hayley Williams' album? I did like it. I don't like it quite as much as some of Paramore's material, but I did think for a solo debut effort, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Did you listen to Brett Eldridge's new album? I did. Don't like it quite as much as some people, but I do think it's a great album and you should check it out if you have not. So yeah, check out Brett Eldridge's new album. Best Florence and the Machine album, whatever that last one was. I don't remember the title, but that last one was fantastic. Favorite Nickelback song, Photograph, easy. Lead singer of My Darkest Days is now the new frontman of 3 Days Grace. Huh. Okay. Neat. I don't really care for either of those bands. Favorite song of all time? I don't know. There's so many. I've no idea. And you say to name a few songs. I don't know. Like there's so many songs I've listened to, and it's hard to even rank them in my head. But I'll throw you a freebie. If you just look at my top songs from the last few years, like Hands Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson, Pure Comedy by Father John Misty, The Black or the Berry by Kendrick Lamar, all the top maybe one or two or three songs on my year-end lists, they would probably all be pretty high up. But yeah, I would have to sit that down and think about that. Which yes, I probably should have a favorite song of all time, but I don't. But if you're looking, my favorite album of all time is Masterpiece Theater by Mariana Trench. So hope that answers that in some way. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna stop reading the porn star dancing in my darkest days ones out loud, okay? Because there's just too many, okay? Which Post Malone song do you prefer, Circles or Goodbyes? Circles. Thoughts on Chromeo? Oh, don't know what that is. I thought I did for a second and then I didn't. Favorite and least favorite Pink album? I mean, I don't remember the name, but the 2013 album was pretty bad. Or 2012? That was 2012, wasn't it? Or 2011? It might have been 2011. That one, 2011, 2012 one was bad. And her best one is, again, I'm bad at names, but I think that 2008 one, 2007? No, 2000, it was 2007, wasn't it? I think. Oh, but that 2002 one was very good too. Maybe her second album. I'll say her. You know what? I should probably just look up Pink discography, but I'm getting other questions. I'm not the best. I like Pink a lot, but I'm not her hugest all-time fan, okay? I'm that idiot who thinks Beautiful Trauma isn't as bad as everybody says. I want to get into Father John Misty's music. Which album should I start with? I Love You, Honey Bear is probably his most accessible. Yeah, I'd say I Love You, Honey Bear, because all the rest of his material is pretty dense. And spoilers, I Love You, Honey Bear is my favorite of his albums. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. But if you don't get into it, I fully understand. And after you check out I Love You, Honey Bear, if you want to go super just weird and off the wall, go for Pure Comedy. If you want to go more, I don't want to say more folksy, but that's kind of the best way I can put it, then go for Fair Fun. Or if you want to go for the most personal, go for God's Favorite Customer. But definitely start with I Love You, Honey Bear, one way or another. Do you think women can be just as funny as men? Yes. What kind of a question is that? I feel like that's a trap. But yeah, obviously. Yeah, I know many women who are absolutely hysterical. Um, who do you think are the most overrated artists or bands? Um, I don't know. And you know what? I don't really want to answer that because it feels very bitter and negative, and that's not really my energy these days. I know that's a weird cop out, but I don't know about overrated artists or bands. Okay, let's see. Um, sorry about the delay here. That was Funhouse. What was Funhouse? uh, yeah, I'm scrolling back. I don't see what you were saying when you said that was Funhouse. Um, oh, you were joking. Wait, no, you weren't. God, this chat is a mess. This is why people don't do live streams. That's mean. I'm sorry. Um, let me just. God, a lot of you are redacting comments. Thoughts on the Pet Shop Boys, especially after charting hits. Um, I don't dislike them. They're all right. That's such a cop out answer, but it's true. I don't really have an opinion on them one way or another. Okay, time for the hard questions. What are your politics? Nice try. Not doing that because I don't want to get political. But I think if you follow my Twitter, it's kind of obvious. I don't like getting into politics that often, you know? I think that there are happier things that one can be doing with their life. I also do want to check on the time. We've been doing this for nearly 2 hours. So I think I'm going to end the live stream within the next 30 minutes, just FYI. So next 30 minutes, and then we're done, okay? But again, thank you so much for being here. Okay, thank you for clarifying that you were joking. Thank you. You look like the comic version of Green Arrow. I'll take that. Nice. I think that's a compliment. Thoughts on Eurodance? Don't really follow it. That's a weird thing to say. I don't really. I've look when it comes to Euro pop and Euro music in general. I listen to it I'll listen to it at a party or in a club setting. I would never listen to it in my own time. And if you're specifically referring to some kind of show that I'm unaware of, such as Eurovision, I don't follow that either. I'm a very un-European European, if you can't tell. Oh god, best Halloween song. I mean, if we're not counting horrorcore stuff from clipping, I would say probably "This Is Halloween" is the easy fallback from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's pretty straightforward. And best Christmas song is obviously "A Christmas Fucking Miracle" by Run the Jewels from RTJ the original. Obviously. Do you have a favorite Taylor Swift song? Back to December. Yeah, it's pretty up there. Whether something from Folklore managed to beat it, oh, you'll find out at some point. Probably soon. And then if nothing makes my top 50 songs of 2020, then probably not, because Back to December would be really high on one of those lists if I ever made one. Here's the Pink album. Here's the Pink albums. Can't Take Me Home. Misunderstood. Okay, thank you. That's very nice of you. So Can't Take Me Home, Misunderstood, Try This, I'm Not Dead, Funhouse, Truth About Love. No, Truth About Love, I think. My God, okay. I appreciate her trying to help, but you know what? I need the years next to them in order to remember. So I'm just going to pull up the albums next to each other, because sometimes the album covers and the years they came out give me more of an idea. So let's have a look at this. Oh, sorry about that. I would say Try This would be my favorite of the ones I go back to the most. And the worst one would be The Truth About Love. Yep, that seems right. Yep. So I hope that answers your question. And I'm sorry for taking so long to do so. And I really should have just done my own research. Sorry about that. So let's go back to this. Hey, Ghosty, aren't you also Irish? Oh, is there? Oh. I guess answer his question if you feel like it. Otherwise, don't let him bully you. Okay. Oh, right. Funhouse was Pink's 2008 album. I thought you were talking about the YouTube channel Funhouse. That's why I was so confused. That's an easy mistake. Best Kendrick Lamar album. I went back and forth on it for years. Now, despite everything I said in those reviews, I'd probably have to give the edge to To Pimp a Butterfly. As much as I did rep for Good Kid, Mad City for the longest time, and as much as it is still one of my favorite albums of the decade, To Pimp a Butterfly, every time I go back to it, especially in more recent years, I'm just so impressed by it. So I'll say, ultimately, finally, To Pimp a Butterfly is the best Kendrick album so far. There you go. You heard it here, nowhere near first. So, yes, I will be posting this live stream on my channel once it is finished. So don't worry about that. Best Lord song. I'm really partial to Liability, personally, even though there are a lot of great songs in Melodrama, but Liability just, it hits me where I live. Thoughts on Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson. Hold on now. Kelly Clarkson, Breakaway. And before you ask me, I'm trying to remember if that's an album or a single, and if so, when it came out. Yeah. Okay, thank you. That was one of her older albums. I thought so. Yeah. Okay, looking at the album cover, yes, I did like that one. It was a good one. I still think Meaning of Life deserved more love, for the record. Just wanted to put that out there. Meaning of Life was not a bad album. What are your thoughts on What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow? Like pretty much everybody else, really like the original. The remix is just not necessary. It takes all the charm out of the original. Not that I think it's the worst remix of the year. I'll say that. There you go. Ghosty's Scottish, not Irish. Oh, okay. Well, what's your favorite song of 2019? Thanks. I appreciate you saying you missed me. And yes, I have been well. What is my favorite song of 2019 overall? Kind of a cop-out answer, but since it was from my favorite album of last year, The Dress by Emily Scott Robinson. I have rarely heard a song that makes me feel so much. God, that song is intense. Oh boy. So yeah, The Dress by Emily Scott Robinson is the best song of 2019 overall. Church has got a big hit. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So, but it could only come with a collab from Marshmello. How does it make you feel? So just to read it out, Churches got a big hit on the Hot 100 last year, but it had to come from a collab with Marshmello. What are your thoughts on that? I think it sucks because the song is fine, but it's nowhere near their best. And honestly, they're so good. They deserve the success on their own. They don't need Marshmello. Although I will say I haven't liked the direction that their music has taken in more recent years. I wish they would just go back to Every Open Eye and just their earlier material. Best Chris Brown song besides Forever. I made a video on this, which apparently has also been taken down. So yes, I will be finding a way of re-uploading that. It's called Drunk Texting. Right? I think that's what it's called. Drunk Texting, featuring, I think that's featuring Jenny Aiko, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, that's the best Chris Brown song, easily. Are you going to answer the prayer questions? Are you going to answer the prepared questions with replies? Yes, Considering I'm running out of questions here, yes, I finally am. Have you heard Angelic to the Core by Corey Feldman? No, and nor do I intend to. What about the drama between Churches and Chris Brown that happened last year? I mean, how do you think I feel about that? It's pretty obvious that I would side against Chris Brown. Let's be clear there. Okay, hold off on that for a moment while a couple of questions accrue in the chat. I'm going to answer a few prepared questions, which I'm going to lie and say that I saved them for the end because I don't know. So let's get to a few of these. What are you most excited about when it comes to your return to music criticism? That was Kumarai Fang asked that. Hey Kumarai, sorry you missed this. But I'm excited to be able to talk about music again. I'm also excited to just see everyone again and just see how everybody's been doing and having the reception that I've had, which has been really touching. So thank you for that. Also, if I asked, would you appear on YouTube collaborations again? I don't think I do a collaboration again. I don't want to give people the wrong impression. I don't want to come back to YouTube. I'll do cameos. I'll definitely do cameos. Like Sean has actually asked me to do a few cameos for him here and there, and I've done them more than willingly. But aside from cameos, no, I'm not. I don't want to do a full collaboration. Nothing personal. It's not what I want to be doing. But anyway, yeah, love your stuff. Keep at it. You're awesome. Jay Ruby asks, so Jay Ruby at JR Juggernaut HS. What are your thoughts on 2020 as far as music goes? As I said earlier in this video, I think that 2019 was a transition, and then 2020 is the year where it all came together, and I think it's been a great year for music. I really do, both on the charts and off. I think it's been great. Even though the discussion surrounding music criticism as a whole, when it comes to how the music industry has been acting this year, especially when it comes to stream trolling and buying spots on the Hot 100, that's been really annoying. But hey, at least the music's been good for the most part. If you could do video reviews of 2 hits from 2010, one positive and one negative, what would they be and why? I feel like if I gave those away, I'd probably be spoiling entries from my year-end lists. So I'm going to pass on that question for now. Hector G at Hector G _MS asks, in what way do you think music criticism has changed over the years? And I believe Brandon Croker at Hut to Hippos 1449 asked this as well, or something like it. I like that it's gotten more positive. I think that when I left, I felt like things were very negative, and people, not towards each other, but I just felt towards music. People were just very sad and angry and fed up. And I'm glad that seems to have changed. I'm glad that people seem to be taking more of a positive approach to music criticism, going more for constructive criticism for the most part, at least from what I've seen. And I don't know, there's a much better atmosphere for me than there was at the beginning of 2019, which may just be because I took a break. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I would say. And I think a lot of people are trying to review things less critically and more on how they personally respond to it, which I think is what music criticism should be. So I'd say if that is the change that's happened and I'm not making that up in my head, then I would say that. So let me just scroll down a bit, find a couple more questions. Oh, I already said I was not planning on attending the Hella Mega Tour this year. At Pokeboy for life, because again, I'm not really a crowds kind of person. At with Dalek with a record. Discover any recent bands and artists that you like. I think I answered that question. Yeah. But your second question, ever thought of starting a vinyl collection? No, because it's insanely expensive and takes up way too much space that I don't have available to me. This is my first time, in case you've been wondering, because I know my setup used to change a lot in videos. This is the first place since I moved to Ireland that I've lived on my own with no housemates or roommates or anything. And it's not cheap because Dublin is expensive as fuck. but at the very least, I have my own smallish space, and because of that, no, I don't have space for a vinyl collection. Though I do have a slowly growing CD collection. Um, how has being part of theater changed you? I've been doing theater since I was 4 years old, so I think it's less how has being part of theater changed me and more if I didn't do theater, how would I be different? To which my answer would be I'd probably be a lot more sad and depressed and aimless in life. That's dark, but probably true because I do love my theater. um, at Kobolinsky, I'm part Irish besides the academic and your boy Niall. Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Claudette Grayson at Claudette Grays 1 asked, do you have an all-time favorite Yeah, I answered that. An all-time favorite sitcom, which I did earlier in the video. And another person asking about retrospective song reviews, which again doesn't lend itself to the format, and I have no interest in writing about it otherwise. So I think those were all the Twitter questions. So there we go. Some of you may be like, wait, that's it. But honestly, I'm glad that it was just a few because I've answered a lot of questions in this video. And yeah, it's been a lot. Which again, I'm so thankful that anybody showed up to see this. It's kind of nuts. How many more minutes do we want to go? Yeah, I'll be closing off in about 15 minutes, probably. Let me just do a couple of the ones that I had on YouTube. So, how have things been since you originally retired from the channel? Things have been good. Things have been really good. I've had a lot more time to just work on myself. Sorry, I think I disconnected there for a second. Sorry about that. Am I back? Yep. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think I disconnected for a quick second there. Sorry, to answer your question, how have things been since you originally retired from the channel? A lot better. I took a good break. I refocused on a lot of the music that I had accrued over the last few years and started to just really re-listen to it and appreciate it as opposed to trying to listen to everything that came out, which was great. And again, I have my own place finally, and I still work 5 days a week, so it's not like I'm not busy even during lockdown, but things are going well considering the year that 2020 has been for all of us. How's your acting career? As I said at the beginning of this live stream, kind of on hold. Again, I'll be re-uploading the VOD for everyone who missed the first few questions. And who are your favorite and least favorite YouTubers in the music community? Not going to say least favorite because that's just mean, but favorites would be, I like all of them, I really do, but I think, as I said earlier in this video, Rodrigo at The Radical Douche, although he's the radical pastor now, isn't he? I keep forgetting his new YouTube channel name. So I'll just call him Rodrigo. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm just so used to it. But yeah, Rodrigo is definitely probably my favorite next to, I mean, Mark will always be my favorite. Mark from Spectrum Pulse, but Rodrigo's great. And actually, you know what? Of the people who entered in, who really blew up in popularity a little before I left, Sean of Diamond X Studios is amazing. I'm so impressed by the quality of his videos. Yeah, and he's just an amazing creator and deserves all the success he's gotten. So that's my answer to that. And again, I'm not answering least favorite music reviewer. That's so mean. Okay, I'm gonna speed through these. Gavingston asks, are you going to repost the lists that were taken down from copyright or at least convert them into a text format for the blog? Yes, one way or another, that'll be coming early next year. 2, will you complete all the years for which you only made one list? For instance, I made a best hits of 2010. Will I be making a worst hits of 2010? Probably, yes. I'll get to it at some point, but yes, almost definitely. And 3, what are the best and worst years you've ever looked at? I don't know. Best is probably, I don't know. Best is probably 2000 and 2004? 2004 was pretty fucking good. And worst was probably, or maybe 2002. One of those. And worst was probably either 2016 or 2009. Um, so, again, I'll return to the live chat real quick just to close off in a bit. But first, let me at least get the prepared questions out of the way because I promised I would. What is your all-time favorite show or musical? Very basic, The Sound of Music. I'm a basic bitch, but I fucking love that musical. Do you like Muppets? And who is your favorite character? I think I already answered this. Do you have the knowledge to review other forms of media such as film, television, and comedy? Most of the time, I don't think I have the knowledge to review music, so I hope that answers that. If one wants to become a music critic or just a critic in general, what types of music should their tastes lean into? And should they like current or classic, things like that? I think if you want to review music or anything, a little bit of context doesn't hurt anybody, but for the most part, like, talk about what you are passionate about, whether that's in a good way or a bad way. And one way or another, you'll find an audience. Like, I certainly didn't think I would reach the following I did back on YouTube when I first started this. And I certainly didn't expect anybody to be interested in a blog, but apparently some people are. So again, the world is a strange place and people are into strange things. I will be Joel P and a few other people have asked, will I be making a worst hits and best hits of 2019? Yes, eventually. What are your thoughts on Play That Song by Train? Asks, Jeremy U review. Jeremy U's review. I've seen you on a lot of my videos recently. Thank you for all the support and watching even my worst videos for some reason. But yeah, Play That Song by Train is a wonderfully bad song. I love it for how bad it is. And finally, Chocolate Zeus asks, what are your thoughts on the new Borat movie? Haven't seen it, though from what I hear, I might like to. The genre of ska punk. What a question. Don't know how to answer it. Because I don't think I've ever listened to it. And if I have, I wouldn't know it. Green Day's Pre-American Idiot material. I really like, I go back, okay, I've listened to all of it. I like all of it. The only ones that I really go back to are Nimrod and Dookie. I hope that answers that question. What do I think of their latest album? Father of All Motherfuckers, I think was the name of it. I don't remember anything. I've listened to it and it has not stuck with me whatsoever. It was not very good. I think I'll say that. But I will also say that if it was so terrible, I would remember it. So that's at least something, right? Some would say that's worse, but either way, not their best for sure. What is one of the worst covers you ever heard? This is a weird one. I really don't like First Cut is the Deepest by Sheryl Crow. And yes, it's because I really love the Cat Stevens original. I'm a Cat Stevens fan. Yeah, I know that's a weird thing to say in 2020, but I always liked his stuff. I grew up with it. I know a lot of music critics don't. But I like Cat Stevens, and I love the original song, and I don't like that cover, even though I do love Sheryl Crow. What is a good song from a band you dislike? First Cut is the Deepest by Sheryl Crow. No, I'll say a good song from a band I dislike. I'm going to cop out because it's the end of the live stream soon anyway. I'm going to say Animals by Maroon 5. Because yeah, I don't like Maroon 5, but Animals, that's a jam. That's a real jam. They have a few jams, in fairness. They have a few songs I really like that I probably shouldn't. You know what? I like Maps by Maroon 5, since that's not been said on the channel before. I think Maps is a good song. Unless I did a retrospective rambles on it. I don't remember. Either way. Let me just end this with, have you ever considered opening up a Discord server? I have not, but hey, I'm not completely ruling it out for the future. I don't know the first thing about starting a Discord server or what the benefits would be, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, that's the honest answer. I don't know. Right. And since we have only a few minutes left, I'm going to end this with a couple more questions and then we'll end it off. So, yes, yeah, Liam Carmody says, "Dear God, give us back Avicii, Chadwick Boseman, and Alex Trebek, and we'll give you 6ix9ine." I won't quite go that far, but yes, rest in peace to those legends for sure. And I'm not going to go that far because, oh boy. But yeah, 6ix9ine is a piece of shit for sure. Will you ever do a review of Kid Cudi's Speeding Bullet to Heaven? Why would I? I've listened to it. I think I've listened to that album 5 times in my life. The first 2 times were when it first came out. Then I re-listened to it for the worst albums of that year. And then I think I've re-listened to it twice out of morbid curiosity to see if it's gotten better. It hasn't. It's awful. Big dogs or tiny dogs? I like both. I love old dogs. Old dogs are great. Like, the old ones who are just, they don't have the jumping around energy, but they're still just so cute and big and sometimes fluffy. I like both. I like dogs. I do. What is your opinion of the Black Eyed Peas new music? Oh, it's completely derivative and non-essential. So yeah, not a fan. Even though I'm leaving as borderline for this year end list, it was big enough for it to be a hit if it wasn't caught between years. Assuming you love it and it misses, which list will you consider it for? So would I consider it my worst or best list? It's probably going to make the worst list. Maybe not in the top 10. I won't say that, but it'll be mentioned. Meow. Okay. You said the Eminem Show was your favorite Eminem album, but what album? But that album had the song Superman, and everyone hated it. Thoughts on Superman? I didn't mind Superman. I even said in my, I did that collaboration with CBOT1 on the worst hits of 2003, and honestly, she hated Superman. I thought it was all right for what it is. For what it is, it's nowhere near a great song. I will say, by the way, since the video initially said the Eminem Show was my favorite album, I would now have to correct and say the Marshall Mathers LP is my favorite album by Eminem, because the Eminem Show has 1 or 2 songs that have not aged well. So, have you been in any musicals? I was in a production of The Sound of Music in French when I was 12 and 13, because that musical ran for 2 years. And then I was in a musical of Tom Sawyer, where I played Huckleberry Finn when I was 14, also in French. And then, sorry, I also skipped when I was 11. I was in a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which was my first venture into musical theater, and it was amazing. Since then, I've not been in any musicals, but would love to get involved again. Hope that answers that. Who was your favorite character you played in theater? I was once in a show called Punk Rock, I believe. I don't remember the artist. Simon something, maybe. I might be wrong on that. I think it was Punk Rock by Simon Stevens. I might be wrong on that. But I played a kid who gets bullied and ends up going to a school with a gun and shooting a bunch of people. Very dark, but really great. Also, just a quick side note, after the lockdown, I might be playing Hamlet, as in the part of Hamlet in the play Hamlet by William Shakespeare. If I do ever get to do that, it'll be a dream come true. Which, by the way, I was cast for that part already. It's just a question of whether the show will ever go on. So, favorite Doomtree song? Probably. Oh, that's tough because I'll say the Bends. The Bends. Although I will give a real strong shout out to Grey Duck. You know what? I'm gonna give the edge to Grey Duck. Over time, that's probably grown on me to be my favorite Doomtree song. What's your singing range? It used to be, when I was a kid, it was mezzo soprano, then it was baritone. Now I'm so out of practice, but I hope it's still somewhat baritone. I'd have to work on it and tell you. Thoughts on American Idiot the musical? I know it exists, but I've never looked into it. Sure. Send me a Discord invite. OMG, I didn't know First Cut is the Deepest was by Cat Stevens. Yeah. Oh, no, it was originally written by Cat Stevens. I'm almost positive about that. I think Rod Stewart performed it first, possibly, but I believe Cat Stevens did originally write it. Would you join the Diamond Studios Discord server? I already answered this. I would love to. I either need to get invited, or if I need to join a Patreon tier, I will do that once I am financially capable. Thoughts on the charts right now? I think that they're not as good as they were about a month ago. Yes, but I think that they're still great. You're afraid of dogs? That must suck. I used to be afraid of dogs. It sucks. Finn hates even though I'm leaving. Wait, did I say that? Did I say even though I'm leaving? I don't. It's late, you guys. It is like 11 p.m. here. Don't do this to me. One second. Sorry, I need to refresh my memory. Even though I'm leaving. I never said I dislike even though I'm leaving. Sorry, did I say even though I'm... Okay, I thought you were talking about... Okay, I'm sorry. I remember this now. I thought you were asking about if the world was ending, because that was a question earlier. Sorry. I do like even though I'm leaving. I'm sorry. God, that is so dumb. Yeah, it's late, you guys. Yes. Even though I'm leaving is a good song. It has Eric Church on it. Why would I dislike it? But thank you for catching that, because I would have totally left this live stream looking like an idiot, because I don't already do. My God. Okay, I'm going to end this now because this is getting ridiculous. But thank you all for joining. Favorite music genre, country and hip hop. Sean would easily let you in. Sure, if I don't want to impose. I don't want to. I don't mind either way. Like it's not a big deal. So, right. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for asking all your questions. This has been insane and run a little over long, but it's been a joy. And maybe we'll do this again sometime. Thank you so much. And sure, until the next time, I'm Finn, and this is The Social Tunes signing off. Follow me on Twitter and go to thesocialtune.com. Take care.